Hey there, guys. Just a Shane Cannon is over here again today, and I have been waiting for a long time to properly do this, and now here it is. Da da da! I just got this today. It is the PM or Pistolet Makarova, or what's commonly called in English, the Makarov pistol. And today, I'm only going to do just a basic review. I'm not going to go into the full details that the professionals do. But what I will do, though, is give you just a brief history about this particular sidearm. now, now as you can see, here, among the slide here, made in Russia. This is a true, authentic Russian Makarov pistol. And so the buyer told me that these were really difficult to get their hands on mainly because due to restrictions on the late. But I finally did it. So the first thing I'm going to cover are the features of this pistol and why I personally believe that the Makarov pistol is one of the greatest pistols ever designed, at least in my opinion. So, first off, the history. How did the Makarov became what it is today? First off, the Makarov pistol. The first prototypes were designed in the year 1951, but they were not introduced into service. But they were not in. The first prototypes did come over in the 1950, but the official ones did not arrive until sometime between 1951 and 1953, replacing the earlier Tokarev TT-33 in service that the Russian Army, or the Red Army, was used to using back during World War II. It was designed by a Russian. It was designed by Nikolai Fedorovich Makarov. I know that seems a little bit of a tongue twister, but luckily for me, though, I have, of course, been teaching myself the language of Russian, so it's pretty easy for me, but it may seem a little bit difficult for the rest of you guys to handle. Okay, so anyways, it holds a 8-round capacity clip, and one unique feature about the Makarov is that basically it is the magazine catch release. I flipped it up to the other side here so you can see. So now, so when Nikolai Makarov first designed this pistol, he actually designed it to be something similar to the Walther PPK, a pistol. Where now one unique feature about this particular pistol is one of them is the magazine catch release button, whereas most of them, like your common Colt 1911s, your Glocks, your Berettas, your SIGs, they would have it over here on the side, but the Makarov has it on the heel portion of the grip. But it's not to worry though. There's no magazine in there, so we're good. But another neat thing, of course, is the field strip of to how that works. Now, basically, what you do is that, you first have to check this. You first have to check it to make sure it's clear, which of course this is, like I said. But before we get there, I want to discuss a little bit about the safety mechanism about the Pistolet Makarova. So one thing you need to be aware is that the Makarov and the Walther PPK, both safety mechanisms. Now they may seem the same, but they're actually really different. Of course, I've heard the Gun Guy TV, a YouTube channel, discuss a little bit about this, but if you haven't seen his channel yet, I would greatly advise that you do, because he's actually held onto this. He's shot this before, and he has been saying time and time again of how great and how wonderfully accurate this pistol is. But I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. For personal for reasons, but I'm not going to discuss them. Anyways, now Now, if this was a Walther PPK pistol, this weapon here would have been on fire instead of safe. That's right, you've heard that correctly. Hey, but that's because where in the Walther PPK, up is fire, down is safety. But with the Makarov, it's actually a lot more similar to what you've seen with a Beretta M9 or your common 1911 pistols, where up is safety, down is fire. I do apologize for the faded red circle, but yes, this is now currently on fire. But we're not going to shoot this, like I said, for reasons. But anyways, why don't we go ahead and begin with the basic field strip. This is the way, and so that way you can disassemble it, and of course, but mainly just for cleaning purposes. So what you have to do is that you have to take this trigger guard down and then move it to either side. You can either move it to the left or to the right. Alright, it will still work as always. So now one thing, of course, you have to remember. You have to make sure that it is on fire, otherwise the field strip cannot happen. If it's unsafe, you won't press the trigger, you won't move the slide or anything. So you need to remember that that this is on fire in order to perform the field strip. So what I'm going to do, now here's how you do it. You put the trigger guard down, on which, like I did, move to the side. Then you have to bring this all the way back, lift this up, and then bring it forward. And now we have two parts, the base and the slide. Alright, I'm going to set the slide down for a bit. So now, as you can see, it has a fixed barrel, but the barrel has another operation. It also acts as the recoil spring guide. Idle rod. This here's the recoil spring. This portion here is not just the barrel, but the guide itself as well. Pretty unique, huh? And so of course you just remove the spring, and now the pistol is ready for your cleaning. And so you can clean up the operations. You can clean the hammer, the slide stop, everything. Everything is exposed. Everything is ready, of course, for your basic field strip. And once you get done cleaning, it's basically do the opposite. But you have to make sure that the spring and the barrel are properly aligned with each other. And of course, when you're pulling the slide back, you sometimes gotta manhandle this. Sometimes it doesn't want to work. Hang on a second. Let me do this with the better way. Because I'm mainly right-handed, so. Yeah. Hang on. I get it. There we go. Yeah. Yes. Sometimes the slide and the spring doesn't want to work all together. So sometimes you really have to manhandle this, but not too much where it will damage it, but just enough where they will cooperate. And now you put the trigger guard right back, and now the Makarov is ready to go. How cool is that? But that there's just the field strip. But there's another feature I want to go over, something I overlooked previously, but now I'm going to cover it. So you see now the hammer is down, it's still on fire, but now here's the neat thing. If you push the safety up, it acts as a decocker. So basically what that means is that it will set the hammer down, but it will stop just shy of the firing pin. Which again, I personally believe it is really, really interesting. So like I said, both the Makarov and the Walther PPK, they are different, but they're also the same way, which I personally believe is really interesting. So So for all of you gun nuts or gun enthusiasts or gun collectors out there, I would really urge for you guys to get a Makarov. It doesn't matter if it's either an authentic Russian or if it's or if it's of Eastern Bulgarian, or things like that. It really doesn't matter what kind of Makarov you get. I, for one, greatly believe that this is I believe this here is a well-deserved pistol. And to me personally, I know for a matter of fact that it is accurate enough to get the job done. So guys, thank you very much. Of course, us for watching over this. Oh, and before I forget, one critical thing that you guys really need to remember. There are 3 critical things I need to go over before I close this video. Number 1, it is a 9mm, but it does not fire your common 9mm Luger Parabellum round, unlike with a Beretta or your common Glocks. They do not fire the 9x19 in Parabellum cartridge. But what they do fire, of course, what they actually fire is the Russian 9mm. That's right. They do not fire the 9x19. They actually fire the 9x18 Makarov pistol. And as you can see, this is what your Makarov cartridge would look like. This is the caliber round that the Makarov will fire. So you guys, so if you're planning on getting a Makarov, you need to remember that it shoots the 9x18, not the 9x17 or the 9x19. And if you guys have never heard of a 9x17 NATO cartridge, it is I believe that the 9x17 in caliber bullet, it is the same thing as the 380 ACP. It's just we're just not used to calling it the 9x17. We're just used to calling it the 380 ACP. So between the 9x17, 9x18, and 9x19, the 9x17 is just the little brother. It's the little kid. The 9x19, that is the bigger brother, and the 9x18 sits in the middle. It is not too strong, but it's not too weak either. Another critical thing you need to remember when holding on to the Makarov, you really need to be careful. If you do have a concealed carry permit, or if you are a police officer, or if you're a police officer like what I'm hoping to be someday, you need to really be careful now because the gun guy actually had this happen before. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you from my perspective, from my point of view. If you ever plan on doing this, you do not want to carry this as with the hammer all the way back and it's on fire. You don't want to do that because if you're gonna rustle around with your holster and if it accidentally drops from your hand and hit the floor, there is a very high chance. There's a very high probability that if it hits hard enough, the hammer will be activated and might accidentally shoot a round. I would advise you guys not to do that. It is best to keep it unsafe with you at all times, unless, of course, if someone's invading your home or if someone is going to shoot you. Do not get the feeling that someone's going to shoot. You have to be absolutely sure. You have to be 100% positive that someone's going to come at you with the gun of their own and they're going to shoot at you. Only until then that you need to draw it. That is really important. Now, I've heard the news in the stores, a whole lot of guys saying that they're gonna be alright. Thinking like they're gonna shoot first, or they're gonna get the win. Guys, it is not a video game, alright? It's not like the Call of Duty or the Battlefield franchises. It's nothing like that. Because if you are the first person to draw and shoot your gun, And if the other person, even though he might have a gun, he might not. But if he does, and if he does not shoot first, well then, guys, you're going to be in really big trouble. So that's why it's best to use these kinds of pistols mainly for personal defense. It is important to become the defender, not the attacker. Otherwise, you're going to be in really, really big trouble. So those are the things I just want to cover. Thank you so much, guys, for this basic review. I really do hope that you guys over in your area get the chance to actually shoot or at least handle all the Makarov yourself. So please, guys, if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. All right, and if you guys have any questions, please, if you can, ask them down over in the comments and section below. Oh, if you have any questions about it, and I'll be happy to answer you to the best of my abilities. And I do, of course, apologize greatly for stuttering. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless.